Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called My Lil Everdell. Lil means little. My Lil Everdell is a game published by Starling Games, designed by James and Clarissa Wilson. James Wilson did Everdell, like the big brother of this, or I guess the dad of this. Plays 1 to 4 players in, is there a time? I don't know, you're not looking at more than like 30 minutes for this one. It's pretty quick. And effectively what this is a kid's version or a family weight, an even more family weight version of Everdell. It takes a lot of the Everdell principles, worker placement, set collection, tableau building, and like streamlines them down to a simpler package, a shorter time that more people can play. Same fantastic art, same fantastic production, which we'll get back to. But right now, let's just go down to the table and check it out.
Come on, play the game.
All right, so here's a game of My Lil Everdell, all set up for, well, solo game, but it basically functions like a 2-player game. So to set up a solo game, you're going to give supposedly the solo AI and a person a home board, which is this long board, but just for space constraints, I'm not giving them a home board. It doesn't really matter. Then each player will get little character meeple. So I have the butterfly. He has the Geico gecko. I think it's a gecko. And I'm playing against Prince Pumpernickel. He's also going to get an 8-sided die. In a solo game, you're going to set up the parade tokens here with a 6 and a 3 only. In a more player game, there would be more out there, 6, 5, 4, 3 possibly. Put all the different resources, the berries, the twigs, and the resin in their appropriate bin on the spaces. Put the moon token on the round 1 space. You can see the little green spaces up at the top. And there's another one for another like crate for these, but it's too small, so I'm just going to use that. Shuffle the cards, flip out 8, and then you're going to shuffle the dice, or roll the dice, and put them on 2 of the spaces in a 2-player game. These spaces are off limits. All right, now we're ready to go. So this is a worker placement game, and also kind of like a tableau building in set collection game, where we are going to be using our little characters here to go to one of the worker placement spots to collect resources, points, to then spin those resources to get cards, which are going to give us points, maybe some kind of special ability, discounts, extra resources, other extra worker placement spots, all that kind of thing. Also, all the while trying to meet these parades here. If you can get 5 critters, you get 6 points. 5 buildings, you can see buildings and critters, you get some points. You can get 3 of each of the types of any of the types of buildings except green, you get some points. Now you can get 1 of every type of building, of card, 6 points. If you do that first, but that player is trying to compete as well, so you may get 3, you may get nothing. So let's go ahead and start. In a solo game, the actual player is always the first player. So I'm going to take my butterfly and I'm going to go to a space. And I'm going to go here, because this space is really good. I get any resource that I want and a point. So I take the point, just put it on my board. And I think I want to take... That's terrible. I can't buy any card. That's rough. Ugh. All right, so I'm just going to take a berry. And then, along with going to a spot, I'm allowed to recruit a critter or build a building by paying the cost at the top. I don't have enough to pay anything, so I'm done. Then it's their turn. What they're going to do is they're going to go to the leftmost die space if it's available. If not, they go to the other one, so they're going to block that space off. Then they're going to roll the die and they're going to take a card, because they're going to just effectively buy a card as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll buy this card, and that will be the first card that they have collected for these parades and the points at the top. All right, then this gets refilled. Back to me. Ooh, man, this is terrible. So I'm gonna go get another berry. So I'll go up here. Only 1 person can go to each of these. These spots up here are unlimited. So I'm gonna take a berry. I'm gonna spend 2 berries. And I'm gonna take the old one, and that's going to give me 2 twigs. And the rule book says to put all of your critters on one side, all your buildings on the other, and I'm going to do that. So I get 2 twigs. Then what you're also supposed to do is check to see if you've met any of the criteria. I don't even have 3 cards at this point, so I couldn't have met any of these criteria, so I'm not going to look at it anymore. Then flip a new card. Their turn. When the die spots are full, they're just going to come up here and eat a berry as a snack. Then they'll roll the die. They're going to take card number 8 again, which is a green card. They don't care about resources. They just care about icons and type of cards. They're done, and they only accomplish their goals at the end of the round, unless you want to play a more difficult version and they can accomplish them immediately, like the players. All right, my turn. I would like a resin, so let's go get a resin. And I think I want to build this. I'm going to build a green. So this is a building. Slide this over a little bit. This is a building. I get rid of a twig and a resin, and then all the green buildings fire off immediately when you build them. I get a resource of my choice, and I'm going to take a berry. All right, and then this gets refilled. Then their last action, they again go eat another berry. They'll roll. Whoops, made a mess. They're going to take card 4, which is this one. They now have 2 buildings and 2 paws, so they're close to getting that one. And then that is the end of round 1. So for round 2, we move this over. Then we take all of our workers back, or our friends. They're called friends, not workers. So I get all my butterflies. They'll get all the Geico geckos. We re-roll the dice. So we got 1 of every good, and then 2 of anything. And then all of your green buildings at the beginning of each round will fire off. So I get a resource of my choice, and I think I'm going to take a berry. And then it's my turn again. So let's send this one out here, get 1 of everything. That's the best die result, and I need to snag it before Prince Pumpernickel takes it. So I have 3 berries, lots of good stuff here. So let's do, I'm actually just going to build this. It's a farm. That'll fire off right now. It costs me a resin. It'll fire off right now, and I get a berry. So now I have 4 berries. That'll be good to get some creatures, because critters love their berries. All right, their turn. They're going to go to the empty die space, roll the die. They're going to take card 2, which is this one. They now have 2 critters, 2 buildings, and 4 different types of cards. All right, back to me. I'm gonna get a resin, because I want to have some resin in my reserve here. And then I am going to buy, I want to take this because it's another worker placement spot. So I can take this, spend 2 wood. Now, with one of my friends, I can come over here instead of over there and get 2 resin, which is pretty nice. They go get some berries, roll the die. They take card number 8 again. That gives them 4 different types of cards and 3 buildings. Still no goals yet, but they have till the end of the round, so we'll sort that out later. Back to me. You know, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take 2 resin. And for my 2 resin, for 3 resin, I'm going to buy this building. So that's 4 buildings. And it's going to get me 1 point for every critter at the end of the game, which is not bad. I'm just going to put it up here. All right. So I'm 1 away. Oh, I should have refilled that, I guess. I'm 1 away from getting a goal, I believe. Yes. All right. Their turn. They're going to get another berry. They'll roll a die. They're taking card number 5. Again, we'll sort out their goals later. And then that's the end of the round. Did they meet any goals? They have 1, 2, nope. They only have 3 critters, 3 that, no 3 of the same. Not everything, so nope, no goals yet. All right. And that's how the game's going to keep going. Through 2 more rounds, we're going to keep playing like that. Eventually, when I would get my 5th building, I would just take this. It can go on your board somewhere, and it's just going to be 6 extra points at the end of the game if I do it before Prince Pumpernickel. And then after all 4 rounds, you're going to add up your score. You're going to get your bonus points from the purple. So I get 1 point for each critter. You're going to add up the points on the right section of your card here, plus any of these, plus any free tokens that you have, and every 2 resources is worth a point. Then whoever has the most points after all that is the winner. That's how you play My Lil Everdell. Let's go up the top, see what you think about it.
What do you think, son? What do you think?
All right, well, that was My Lil Everdell. So let's talk about production and components, and up here at the top, maybe how they differ from the Big Daddy or whatever, but let's just talk about this. So first off, this has some of the same resources. It has resin, it has the twigs, and these nice little crates, which are a little too small, so I don't necessarily know if I'll use them all the time. And the berries, they're still bouncy. So no pebbles, we got rid of that. This one also has new character meeples. It has the adorable little butterfly, the Geico gecko, or salamander, whatever you want to call it. It looks like the Geico little gecko to me. And there's also a fox and a rabbit that I didn't play with. This one has other production. This has dice that you're going to be using for resources. They're like screen printed. They're really nice. There's 4 of these, 1 for every player that you're playing with, or 2 in a solo game. And it also has cards with amazing art. So let's look at some of that. There's buildings and critters, like just fantastic art. I think every card is different. That's a Skirble right there. Oh no, it's not a Skirble. There is like a Skirble in here. It's called a hero or something. Fantastic art. Yeah, there he is. There's a Skirble right there. So much good art, reminiscent of the other game, but like more like family friendly, like kid style. It's fantastic. The production and art on this, top notch. No issues at all with any of it. Even these parade tiles. This is just a tile for points, but look at the art on that thing. It's fantastic. Andrew Bosley knows his stuff. He knows how to do some art. I will never be unimpressed with any of his art, no matter what the game. Even in a game like Tapestry, which doesn't have a ton of art, the art that's in there, still fantastic. Andrew Bosley kills it. So let's talk about how this game compares to the bigger game. Now, this game has a lot of similarities to Everdell. It's a worker placement game. You're sending your workers out to areas to collect resources. You are spending resources to build cards. Now, the differences here is there's 1 less resource, like I mentioned earlier, but the way that the game works is much simpler. In Everdell, you can place a worker out or build a card, and your round can go on as long as you have stuff to do. In this one, it's a set 4 rounds, a set 3 workers, always placing a worker and possibly building a card each turn. So you're going to have a maximum of 12 cards in your tableau. You're taking a maximum of 12 turns, and you're just trying to score the most points in your tableau and in the set collection to get these parades to win the game. So it has a lot of the similar feels of regular Everdell, but it streamlines that down into a faster, easier to teach, simpler package that kids can play, non-gamers can play, that anybody can play really. And I think that's cool. So this game is great. I love it. It's going to stay in the collection, and I can't wait to play it some more. So I'm going to give this a BGM acceptance seal. This is going to get an 8.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4.25 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what we want to do. So that is My Lil Everdell from Starling Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.